Call the June 11th work session of the Site Review Technical Advisory Committee to order. We do have a quorum, and we have one item of business, 550 Sagamore. Come on down, or up, forward.
Good afternoon. For the record, Eric Weinberg with Altus Engineering. Also with me today is Jenna Green from Green and Company. We're here for tax map 222, lot 11, which is 550 Sagamore Avenue. The applicant is Green and Company, and the owner is the Francis E. Malfluzzi Revocable Trust of 2015. You have the existing condition survey up on the screen. Easterly completed a detailed existing condition survey of the site. The parcel is 1.44 acres, 62,754 square feet. There's a small isolated wetland on the site that was mapped by Joe Noel and located and shown on the plans here. The wetland is a result of actually what appears as the butter to the north on the bottom of the plan had filled their lot and kind of altered the natural slope of the grade in that area. So that's what you can see, the steep slope on the just off the property line, and that's what changed the terrain there and created the wetland. So the parcel lies within the SRB zoning district, where the minimum lot size is 15,000 square feet. By area being over 62,000 square feet, there's enough land area for 4 lots. The minimum lot frontage in the district is 100 feet. This parcel along Sagamore has about just under 140 linear feet. Previously working with the Malfluzzi family, we presented on both the 4-unit and 3-unit development on the parcel as a single lot, which the zoning district prohibits more than 1 dwelling unit per lot. So we went forward with variances for that, and those were concepts that actually pushed all the development towards the front of the property as a single building, and both of those applications were rejected by the zoning board. So we're now back with Green and Company looking at a conventional 3-lot subdivision. Thank you. And so this is a proposal here. We're proposing a roadway coming in off the south, similar to the location that we had done before, and with a short cul-de-sac, and each lot has minimum depth, meets all the frontage requirement and minimum lot size requirement. This proposal here also, we're looking at waivers to go with a reduced roadway width of 20 feet and a reduced right-of-way width of 40 feet. And we can do this project, and I actually have a plan here that shows a full 50-foot right-of-way, and we still can make the development work, meeting the 3 lots, meeting all the requirements for setbacks, lot area, and so forth, as well as lot depth. We feel that this is a better proposal. It's less impacting. It's less pavement and so forth. And in all the proposals presented, we would not be impacting that wetland. There is no buffer requirements from a wetland that just over 1,000 square feet in area, and so this is a lot development that we would have we'd tear down the existing house, we'd end up with 3 single-family residences, and we would be looking for those 2 waivers. From a stormwater management perspective, there is a lot of ledge on this property. We have not done any subsurface investigations yet, but my intuition is that maybe at the back of lots 1 and 2, the soils may change, and there may be some opportunities for infiltration. But in general, I don't anticipate that would have a potential for infiltration. Probably from the cul-de-sac to the left, all of that area would drain towards the back of the site as it does now, and then from the throat of the cul-de-sac in Lot 3 would all drain towards Sagamore. So we'd do some stormwater management, probably on Lot 3, and then discharge into the closed drainage system on Sagamore. I think I'm out of words and look for your input.
All right. Questions, comments?
Approved?
I would like to speak when it's my turn in objection to this.
This is the work session, so there's no public comment.
Oh, okay.
So when they come for full TAC, then we will have public comment.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So the wetland, you're right, it's under the jurisdictional size, and you do have an explanation for why it's there, but I'm wondering if you confirmed it's not a vernal pool,
I have not.
because it would have a setback if it was a vernal pool. The only reason I ask is because over by Jones Ave, there's vernal pools, and over on Little Harbor Road, there's vernal pools. And so
Yeah.
this is kind of an area in between, so probably we'd want to go forward with an independent review just to make sure it's not a vernal pool.
We have no objection to that at all.
Okay. And if it's not a vernal pool, you're right, it won't have the setbacks, but we'd want you to make sure you protected it, and maybe do some plantings around it if you, on the part of the site plan, but.
So
Talk about that.
as a question,
Yep.
you can only really tell vernal pools in that small window.
Yeah, well, they have ways of telling, at least having a good sense of whether it's vernal pool or not.
Yeah.
So you could at least get that sense of whether it's likely a vernal pool, and
Okay.
that's what I'd be asking for. We couldn't confirm 100%, but
Yeah, I agree.
what's in there and maybe old evidence of things. You're right, it's hard.
Okay.
Eric?
Yeah, if you could show turning movements through the circle, for fire
Yeah.
truck and other vehicles. So.
Yeah, we did run it with the 20-foot, and it does work. But yeah, we would provide that.
Yeah. And sight lines out of the intersection of Sagamore Ave.
We can provide them. We used the fire truck, the ladder.
Do you know where the hydrants are in Sagamore relative to?
I believe we have a TBM across the, no, that's in the sidewalk. We can make sure we have that information directly.
Is the plan not to sprinkler the homes?
Not unless it's necessary.
Sure.
So I guess with the hydrant, if it's within 500 feet, you wouldn't require one? Is that what you're?
I'm not sure what the exact distance is before we require one. So I would just want to know how far it is and
Okay.
get together with the water department.
Yeah.
I believe there's one at the Tide Watch driveway. Yeah.
So that's probably,
Lester King?
No, this is across
that's
the street.
north of Lester King.
On the Sagamore Apartments next to Taiwan. This is across from that.
So that's probably 150 feet.
Are we doing any widening on that side?
Yes. So speaking of water, we are widening Sagamore Ave and paving it this year, so it will be under a moratorium, which would restrict water and sewer connection to that property
What is the timing for that?
this summer. They're currently removing the sidewalk in front of the Sagamore Court condos. I believe they did that yesterday.
Okay, so obviously it would be at the owner's risk to put in sewer and water services before it,
Yeah.
your work is done at risk of the project not going forward.
Yes, if that is allowable.
Certainly, we don't want to wait 5 years or whatever it is.
Yeah,
How many?
Two.
with additional fees for the next 3, is it? Or- Yeah.
Is there, how much widening is happening on our side of the road?
Not a lot on that side. We are moving the sidewalks slightly deeper into the condo side, so I can get you the updated drawings.
That would be great, thank you.
I think the bigger issue is abandoning the water service.
Yes.
What did you do for a sewer line?
This area didn't get new sewer. This
So it's
was-
gravity?
Yes, this is gravity.
Yeah.
We did switch the water services over from that old 8-inch
Yeah.
to the 12-inch on the far side of the road. So the water service is on the opposite side of the road.
Yeah, you've already put in replaced the service there, I knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, would it be feasible, I don't know what size we'd need, but if we came off with a 6, stubbed it off, and then off the 6, put a temporary connection?
6? There is no 6.
We stubbed off with a 6 for the new development. Let's just say, unless it's an 8 you're requiring, for 3 lots. It would really be for 2 lots, because you already have a connection for one of them.
Yeah. Unless you need a fire connection.
Right.
Let's say we don't need a hydrant. I'm just we could continue, the new service could be used for Lot 3, right? And then we would just put in a stub for Lots 1 and 2, and if we need a hydrant.
Yeah, if it needs a hydrant, that would be an 8, but I don't know if it would.
Unless we,
Are you proposing a city street or a private right?
private right away.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for your input on as well. I mean, go from 6 to 8 isn't a big deal, but it just, the amount of water that's sitting in that 8-inch for 2 lots is a lot of water.
Yeah. It's really a determine whether you need a hydrant or not.
I mean, based on the location of it at Tidewatch, it doesn't seem like that would be warranted.
I don't know. Lester King's right next to Tidewatch and they're putting one in.
Lester King's putting that hydrant in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we determine that?
I'll look at it and get back to you.
Okay.
And an unrelated note, it will need to have its own street name.
Yep.
It'll have 3 addresses by the E911 guidelines.
And
With the front house be off Sagamore, or would you be looking at the backyard?
that was actually the segue to what I was going to say, is we would be putting the driveway off the lesser traveled street, so we're reducing impacts. So my understanding, based on previous discussions, that that house would not have a Sagamore address. They would all have that site.
The driveway's off the private drive, it would have private drive.
Can I add to that?
Sure.
So just make sure that you go to assessing prior to TAC and get the new lot numbers and addressing process started.
That's the process now, not
Go
later.
first, yeah.
Yeah, so that none of the plans have stand-in numbers. It's all what is designated by assessing.
Do we just email it to them, or how does that?
You can just walk in and ask them, but you could probably email them, see what they'll
Okay.
do it that way.
Walk-in is
Send me
fine.
a plan, but you can walk in, they'll probably give it to you right then. And I guess those are subject to change, but they'd much rather have their drafts on there than anybody else's. So I'm sure they'll give you the real numbers right away.
Yep. Okay.
They stay that way.
Is gravity sewer in front?
Yeah, gravity sewer out front.
Manhole in front?
Not that I'm seeing. No, the nearest one's in front of 520 or in front of 594. Those are the nearest manholes.
I assume you'd want a new manhole.
Undivided interest.
Yes,
Because it's-
if they are coming in as a, I guess, a shared service, but really a main, we would want a manhole
Oh, the street.
where they all connect in.
I mean, just asking a question a different way is if we had a service directly for lot 3, and then we had 2 services down the street for lots 1 and 2, we'll do it whatever way you want, but would those be acceptable as service?
Try to find a way of being able to get this done so that we can still pave the road this summer.
That's,
So if you run a water line off Sagamore and you run a sewer line off Sagamore, then you're off Sagamore. The only thing we have to worry about is the gas company and source. And the drainage.
Drainage, yeah.
No, that when you're considering the water line prior to me determining if you would need a hydrant there, if there isn't a hydrant up at the end of that, then it would have to be marked no parking on either side. So that if there's a car parked there and we lay a line in, that no other trucks can get in. At the-
good point.
I don't quite catch that.
So technically a 20-foot wide
Yeah?
fire lane
It's
would
not a
have to
fire
have.
lane. Right. It's
Sorry?
not wide enough.
It's wide enough if there's no parking on either side.
Yeah?
If we put a hydrant at the end, recognizing there's 3 single-family homes, then we probably would not require them to put no parking signs on both sides of the road. The idea being that if there's a car parked on the side of the road, we lay in from the hydrant.
You can't get around.
That hose, that first truck that lays in is going to lay in, no other trucks get in.
That makes sense. So hydrant at the end, we're all set. Per se.
Based on this 3 single-family homes, I'd be comfortable with.
Yeah. Okay.
So Eric, this also kicks you in the site plan because it's 3 or more dwellings.
Correct.
So I assume you'll probably ask for several waivers from those regs as well.
So as a site plan, do we have to show lot development because we don't necessarily know what they're going to build?
To build them.
What's that?
When you get to that point, you will. Could they do site plan secondary? They kind of have to do it. You're gonna wanna-
But we're only making 2 new homes.
It's a
Well,
3, yeah.
The one that's there is going to be
We'll
new.
just push the other one over.
Just 2 homes.
Yeah, it seems like it would make sense to do it all at once, but you're not going to have the site, is that what you're saying?
We're not necessarily going to know it.
You're just going to do the subdivision
That would be,
without development.
yeah, I think that there's,
To do the development, you have to do the
At
site.
the end, it sounded like. It sounded like the end of the
I mean,
cul-de-sac.
you guys could ask for waivers and do,
individual lot. Yeah, that would, might be our preference.
I think you would probably want to show at least the driveway and a theoretical footprint
Yeah, yeah.
to show that it can work.
And where the utilities would go and,
Yeah.
Well, that we'd have to stub anyway.
Yeah, the stormwater too.
Yeah.
And the way the assessor will give you those lots, there'll be 4 lots, but one of the lots won't have a number, the
the right-of-way.
The right-of-way.
Oh,
And they'll have to go into like a homeowner association, and they all have a responsibility to maintain that.
A divided interest in the,
Divided interest.
yeah. And so I assume you're going to want to see that as part of the final documents and so forth, the HOA.
HOA, yeah.
Dual services.
The 8-inch pipe isn't that long.
Those stone mounds, are they just like piles of rocks, or
It's,
they're not like,
it just kind of outcrops.
I mean, these,
But the- not the
these,
outcrops, but
these things?
On the, you
Oh.
can see it better on the, which, there it is, that one.
Oops.
I think that,
See those,
these-
they have like stone walls
It
around.
says
I think they're kind of stone, I can't remember, to be honest, but I think it's kind of stone walls and gardens and stuff. But
Okay.
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
They're not graveyards, or?
They're not graveyards.
No. Let's hope not, no.
They want to check that.
Jesus.
Farther in.
And then we noticed that the lot line is kind of
Got a weirdness.
Oh, strange how it doesn't go along the stone wall on the top, it ends, but we
No.
understand it's probably the stone wall.
It just,
And the same with the front, there's like a purple line.
yeah, it's what the deed,
Changes.
Yeah, reuse.
deed came up with.
Who?
The deed. Oh, you mean
That's-
our
oh.
proposed?
Well, whoever drew it, it should probably be drawn consistently all the way around, so we understand where the lot line really is.
What we did is the purple is the new
Yep.
interior lot lines.
Yep.
It's just that this.
But this, from here to here, is it the stone wall?
See the line.
Yeah, it's the stone wall in that section, so it's not a physical line shown.
Yeah.
Two arrows.
I don't know how the registry will treat that, but it'd be nice if it was the same line type at least.
We can make sure there's a line there.
And I think it's the same in the front, but it's hard to tell.
There's
Replace all the line.
there's a line in
Is there a
front.
line in the front?
Yeah.
Replace it all.
We replace it all.
Probably junk, so that probably
Okay.
needs to be abandoned, that probably needs to go in there too.
Okay.
And the zip line will go away, I assume?
I believe that they've been asked to remove it, and it may have already been removed.
Sewer off one side.
Well, it should be on the water service. Or everything off
All right, so not reuse.
So you'll do test pits to figure out the stormwater
Yeah.
capability and buildable and all that?
I guess one of the things we'd be looking for is what's your feeling in this room about the 40-foot right-of-way and the 20-foot road, provided we can provide the turning templates to satisfy you.
It's just parking, you know, it's got to be room for visitor parking. Not blocking.
I mean, where these lots are 15,000 square feet, they're going to be a two-car garage with, ample space for a couple cars on the lot as well. And so I am confident there's adequate parking on each house.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really up to the fire department in terms of the width, if it can work. It sounds like it can work as long as you don't park there or you put a hydrant in.
Yep.
And the 40-foot right-of-way, I think is fine.
Yeah. So I don't know if we need a waiver for, in the subdivision regulations, you're required to have a 25-foot flare at the intersection, and we have that on the south side, but because it's up against the abutting property, we can't provide it on the other side. I assume that's not an issue.
Shouldn't extend the radius
gravity
beyond
for
the extension of the property line.
This property is like 60.
That's I think that's what we had done, is kept it.
Roads at 60.
It looks like it goes a little bit beyond, but
Yeah.
How deep it is.
We'll cut it back if needed.
Not a big drop.
there'll be a 5-foot shoulder out there, bike lane.
Offhand, I don't remember immediately.
How do you plan on getting the ledge out of there?
What's that?
How do you plan on getting the ledge out of there? Blasting or hammering?
Contract hasn't been selected. I would assume that they'll probably be doing blasting, but I don't know for sure.
Are you guys planning on doing like a vibration study or?
I think we have to because of the proximity to other properties and so forth, so that would be required.
I don't know if this is on like a checklist for TAC, but Roseanne or assessing has a new SOP out that says that prior to going to the planning board, that the map and lot need to be obtained from assessing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because there's been,
Peter brought that up. Yeah.
okay, good, yeah.
Yeah,
Just so you're
no,
aware.
thank you for reminding us.
Yeah.
Very important.
I like that process because it's always a scramble at the end. We've done the
Exactly.
Mylar, and then someone says, you don't have the right tax map and lot number.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is good right at the beginning.
That way, we get the permits in.
Then you're
our
all set.
part. Right, exactly, yeah, sure.
Eric,
It's on our list, the units.
anything?
We had everything on our list.
No.
Note 5 on the existing plan talks about easements, unknown rights.
Yeah, that's pretty much a standard note to make sure that when they found, they did their deed research, nothing was found, but in case there is something else that's not found, they're just covering themselves with that.
Okay. How do you guys plan on dividing ownership of the road?
It'd be developed in the HOA. Normally, it's an equal share, even though Lot 3 uses the least amount. It's the cleanest way to do them. Isn't that what you guys
Yeah,
normally
that's what
do?
we do, and then we'd have a road maintenance agreement, and it would just be part of the HOA to share in the maintenance of the road and stormwater and anything else.
Okay, great. And do you plan on providing private services for snow and trash pickup?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would need to.
Will you have mailboxes at each individual lot, or you have one station that has 3?
Can we have them at each individual lot?
With 3, I don't know, up to the postmaster.
I don't know what the postmaster does. That's
You know,
out of
once-
our hands. But I would think he'd want one at the beginning, but maybe with 3 he would go in.
Right, I would act, but that would be,
I don't know.
I don't think they usually go in on private roads, but I don't know
I
for
don't,
sure.
I wouldn't think so, but,
I don't know.
Our
it would be up
experience
to the
is,
postmaster though, right?
yeah, it's a postmaster, it's not our call. And you could put a box on your site plan if you're gonna, you gotta figure it out beforehand, I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
Do we need a water access easement on this one?
Private road, yeah. And then a private hydrant agreement for maintenance, if it does require a hydrant.
What about stop sign?
No.
Big enough to put a stop sign. Does this still count as a driveway, even though? Still.
you said you're redoing the sidewalk on that side?
The far side has the sidewalk, not.
We don't have a sidewalk on our
Yeah,
side.
not on that side. And
Okay.
there will not be one after we're done with our work.
We can have Eric move forward.
Personally.
RFP.
I'm already not mowing the lawn on your property.
All right. Doesn't seem like there are any more comments. Hear any other questions?
Any other comments?
We really appreciate your time. This was very helpful.
All right.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
See you.
Good luck.
Thanks. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right.
Second, if you got it.
Thank you. We're adjourned.